There's not a bigger Spider-Man fan in the world than me, so I was kind of looking forward to this thing, even though I fucking hate nerds and I'm tired of comic book movies and all this stuff. Things were looking up going into this film, but once I got there, once I saw it, all the critics are wrong, all the fake bullshit review things. That's why you guys come to me, because I know everything about movies. I'm not getting paid off by corporations and the movie studios and stuff. No one can touch me. I got serious integrity. Okay, that's what they say. And I tell you guys the truth. I just shoot right down the line. I cut all the bullshit out, so we're just going to cut the bullshit out. My mom's been taking me to movies lately because I got PTSD problems and stuff. And last time I went to see that horrible Wes Anderson thing, some unfortunate things happened at the movies. And on the way out, we were threatened by management and all kinds of stuff. I can't have that, you know, like the movie theater is my second home. So we came to this arrangement. And now my mom takes me and we're using my dead grandma's wheelchair. So she pushes me up there and stuff. And this is just what we do now. I've seen a few other movies since then, Ghostbusters stuff. She puts the sleep mask on me, right? Just so there's no chance I actually see the steps leading to the movie theater. And I have to keep it on the whole time until we actually get in the theater, because there's steps in the individual theaters too. So we're going to see the Spider-Man movie. My mom gets me in there, and the first thing I notice when she wheels me in to the door is this wave of stench. Just this wave. It hit me like a wall, like getting punched in the face. This stench of body odor and just nerd fat. Just anyone that knows this, like I come from a big fat family of fat ass walruses, losers, fat lard asses. We're all just big fucking tubs of shit. And anyone that knows that's lived with that, knows that fat on disgusting nerds gives off a different smell. Like if you've got like a healthy person and they're a little fat, their fat doesn't smell like nerd fat, like fat, like really morbidly obese fat stuff. It's just a different stench. It's like different animals and species and things that give off different smells. Okay, that's just a fact. You go to the zoo, the elephant's going to smell different from the hippo, and the hippo's going to smell different from the rhino and stuff, whatever. So I'd say we smell more like elephant. Well, by we, I admit I am a fat ass, but I take a shower every day, every single day, even if I have to just sit in the tub and spray myself off, because I have decency. Okay, most nerds don't have that. So we get in this fucking thing, all I smell is fucking elephants and hippos and fucking orca whales, and I can not only do I smell them, I can hear them. You know what I mean? Thank God I had my blindfold on. If I would have had to look at these fucking monsters, it would have probably triggered my PTSD or something. I probably would have thrown up everywhere. And me and my mom just went to Subway before we got to the movie theater because roast beef was back. I finally got 2 Subway clubs, and I got another foot-long roast beef just to bring in to the show. So I'm on cloud 9 right now going to this fucking movie. But thank God I got my blindfold on, because these fucking pig goblin, monsters. I could smell the Star Trek fans. Honestly, Star Trek fans smell 3 to 4 times worse than Star Wars fans. I mean, everyone's a Star Wars fan now. If you're fat and you owned a t-shirt, then you're a Star Wars fan. Star Trek fans, they're different kind of monstrosity. They're like these fucking wildebeests on 2 legs that just refuse to bathe. Like water's their kryptonite stuff. So we get in there. I'm already disgusted, but I gotta get my concessions and stuff. And I told my mom, just wheel me into my seat, and then all the stuff I like. And, I'm a double check it anyway, but you go get all my food stuff and things. I can't be in here with them. It's too fucking disgusting. So I got in the theater and I just put 2 pieces of tissue up my nose just to stop the fucking stench. I didn't want to ruin my appetite. So I'm sitting in the theater with my blindfold on. I don't want to see the steps. I don't want to see any of these lard asses fucking filing in to see this fucking horrible Spider-Man thing. Another thing I can tell, aside from the stench, is that just everything, like the room's hot. You can just feel the breath and the Mountain Dew burps and the fart. It's just everything. Just these lard asses give off so much heat that it warms the room up. You gotta I've had to do this. I've had to tell the manager, can you please drop it down 10 degrees on the air conditioner, and that'll compensate for the thousands of degrees that's coming off all these bodies, because it's just a fucking sea of, they might as well be like little stars just emanating heat and stench and filth into the fucking theater. But my bigger point was, all these fucking losers, the ironic thing, they all think that they're Spider-Man fans. Everyone loves Spider-Man. Before my grandma died of COVID, she even liked Spider-Man. She's like, he's my favorite. How can everyone's favorite comic book hero be this little bitch kid who dresses up as a spider? I don't understand. Why does everyone like this? And on some level, I think that it's like mass hysteria or something in the water. Because the reason I love Spider-Man, I'm not like you people. I'm not like all these fucking walruses on legs that come into the fucking movie theater and stenching stuff up and ruining my fucking appetite. Okay, I'm not like them. The difference is I'm kind of a genius. I kind of know everything about movies and stuff. I got this great power. And the reason I've always related to Spider-Man, even though I had the dolls and the comics when I was a kid, I never read them, but I look at the pictures and I fucking hate reading. And when I was a kid, I had comics and stuff, but I knew that comics were on their way out because people don't want to read stuff. They just want to watch stuff. So I got rid of my comics early and started watching movies more. Now I was way ahead of my time. I've seen 30,000 movies or whatever, and no one gives a shit about comics anymore. All they care about is watching movies and streaming stuff. I've seen it all, so I got the advantage. That's why you're here watching me. No one gives a shit about comics. But I like Spider-Man because I can relate to him, because when I was a teenager, I had this incredible power. And with that power came this great responsibility, right? No one knew more about movies than I did. It didn't matter. Like, I was the go-to guy. There was one kid was close to knowing as much as me. His name was Fat Matt. He died tragically at the bowling alley. So it's, he came close. He got too close to the fire and burned his wings or whatever. That's that Prometheus thing. So he died tragically, and I had nothing to do with that. But after he died, it was like there was no question. I was the #1 movie source, and I had all this responsibility thing. And I'm gonna just tell you about something about life and comics. The only thing people get out of comic book movies is to waste time. The moments throughout your day when you're not on your phone looking at porn or Instagram or whatever the fuck you losers do, that's what movies are for. They're to fill that time when you're off your phone. Not me. Like, I'm a big movie buff, Spider-Man fan things, and I know all the stuff about myths and knowing into getting the stories, and there's all kinds of morals and ethical things you can learn from these stories. It's not just flashing light on a screen that's signaling you to stuff your face with popcorn. I do all that stuff too, but I learn stuff, and I know stuff that you guys don't know nothing about. And the big thing I know and I take away from comic books is that in the real world, okay, and I'm talking about in life, there are no superheroes. There's no heroes at all, actually. If you get in trouble, you're fucked. You got to take care of yourself. That's the #1 rule. If you're getting bullied, there ain't no Spider Kid going to come swinging in to save you or help you or whatever. And my bigger point was why this movie sucks, which I'm getting to. When I was in high school, one of my best friends, okay, his name was Jew Boy. This isn't racist, okay? He called me fat ass or Fat Albert or tons of fun, or he had all these names for me. Free Willy, that was a good one. Anytime I saw him, every day he had a new fat name for me. But mine was Jew Boy because that's what everyone called him, because he was a Jew. I'm talking like super Jew. And Jew Boy, I don't even remember what his real name was. It was so fucking Jewy and hard to say that I don't think he'd be upset with me. If Jew Boy was still with us today, he'd be laughing at that, because even he knew he had this fucking crazy Jew name. I didn't come up with Jew Boy. That's some other shit that like the hardcore racists gave him or whatever, but they called him Jew Boy. We went to school together, and let me just tell you a little story about Jew Boy. He was my best friend, okay, and we go to school every day and we talk about movies and stuff. He'd always have so many questions for me because I had this power. That's how I relate to Spider-Man and stuff, I knew everything about movies, and he wanted to know everything, and he hadn't seen anything. So that's what I did. I just told him what movies to watch and what not to watch, and he told me all secret. Why do you think I'm obsessed with Jew stuff? My best friend Jew Boy told me all these secrets of the Jews. We're talking how they built the pyramids, to how they control all the monetary systems in the world now. I mean, the Jew elite, he knew all the stuff from getting around with Jews and doing Jew stuff and things like that. But another thing we had in common was we both hate Christmas. He hates it for Jew reasons, and I hate it just because of fucking Christmas is the worst ever. Oh, back to Spider-Man. This all relates to Spider-Man. Me and Jew Boy. This is what I learned from comics. I just want to give you an example. Okay, one time I'm at school taking a dump in the bathroom, as I do. I remember this one because this was a wicked shit. Okay, this is the night before I went to Hooters, and this was back in the day. You kids aren't going to understand this. Hooters used to have this thing, 25-cent wing night. Okay, and I went in there and I had 140. Okay, and I'm talking 3 Mile Island. That's the hottest hot sauce they have. So, 140 times a quarter. I don't know what that is, but it was a lot of fucking wings. I had the hottest wings in there, and they got these girls with the big old titties. They're a little old for me, but I still like big old fat juicy tits in my face, and chicken wings and hot sauces and all those blue cheese cups. And my stomach back then was a lot stronger than it is now. Oh yeah, this was a killer shit. This was Hooters wing night shit in the school bathroom, and I was in there for over an hour. That's how much. I must have flushed 7 or 8 times. So I'm sitting in there and I hear a rumble outside the bathroom door, and these guys are dragging in someone into the bathroom. I could see through the cracks who it was. It was the Aryan Nation. I don't know what their real name was, but we had a gang of skinheads skinheads. Skinhead rednecks. Okay, I'm here in Mississippi. People nowadays with their Black Lives Matter and their protests and the Jews will not replace this stuff, they think they know about racism. You guys don't know anything about racism, okay? I grew up in the most racist place on the planet. I'm still here in Mississippi. You guys don't know nothing. You think you've seen your Quentin Tarantino movies and know what racism is or whatever? You don't. It's 10 times worse than whatever you think it is that you've seen in TV shows and stuff, okay? The racism's so deep here. The white power people things, the Confederate Nazi stuff they're so powerful here that they're like above the law because their uncles and grandfathers are judges and sheriffs and stuff. They can do whatever they want. So even in high school, we knew you do not fuck. People weren't afraid of blacks like I am now. They weren't afraid of Jews or Arabs. This was before 9/11. What they were afraid of was the redneck Nazis. You do not fuck with them. They teachers couldn't even fuck with these guys. So if you pissed them off, you know you had it coming. So I noticed it's the Aryan Nation guys, these fucking Nazi skinhead, American History X looking dudes. They're dragging this guy in. I'm like, oh God, here we go. There's 3 of them. 2 of them drag the kid to the back wall, and they're just beating the shit out of him. I mean, it was like brutal. Okay, and the other one's watching the door. I can see all this through the cracks and stuff. And I hear him saying Jew boy and Jew and saying all this racial stuff, right? And like, that's not cool. You know, unless you're friends. I don't condone anyone calling someone Jew boy unless you're friends. You don't get to say racist stuff unless you are racist with your friends. And it was like, oh my God, it's Jew boy. They got Jew boy. They got him. But, you know, part of me was thinking, man, he must have done something wrong. So they're beating the shit out of him. That happens, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, I got this responsibility and stuff and all this comic books things. It's always someone coming in to save him and stuff. Maybe I should do something. You know what I mean? Like, this is my friend, and he's getting the shit beat out of him, and then they stop beating him. And one of the main bully guys, this dude was fucking scary. He looked like the fucking teenage Grim Reaper with a swastika badge on his leather jacket, whatever. He picks up Jew boy. I thought that was horrible because I'm seeing my friend through the crack here. I'm still taking a shit, by the way. I just flushed again. Here comes another one. He's calling the F-bomb. I don't condone any of that. And the big guy, he unzipped his pants and he pulled his cock out, which, I mean, you know, it's a big cock if you can pull it out. I got a micro dick. I got a little baby. You can't even hold my dick without tweezers. So this guy's got a huge dick, and I guess that's why he was a bully or whatever, because he just wanted to have excuses to put it in people's faces or whatever. Long story short, he's holding up Jew boy. He took out his cock and then he stuck his face and he smeared it. He was smearing all over his face. All his friends are laughing. Even I even thought it was kind of funny. You know, it's my friend stuff, and it's kind of fucked up because his nose is bloody and his face is all fucked. But he had the guy's cock in his face and he was smearing it in here. He's like, you want to see the future? This is your future. And I thought that was a pretty good line, but pretty gross and racist and homophobic and all these terrible things I don't agree with. And he was smearing his dick all over his face. It was absolutely horrible. So I finished up taking my shit, white mask and stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Now they got him on the ground. They're just stomping on his head. They keep stomping on his head. One guy was pulling his pants off of him and he was going through his book bag and he started shoving things up his asshole. A protractor, a fucking stapler, big old fucking markers and stuff. He was sticking all kinds of stuff up his ass. It was like, he looked like a porcupine. He was screaming and all this stuff, and they were saying all this horrible shit. The main one called over the door watcher kid, said, come get your turn. He's over there and he's just beating the shit out of him. He took his shoe off. He's beating him with the shoe. I'm getting to the Spider-Man thing. This is why no one's a bigger Spider-Man fan than me, which is the main reason. What I learned from Spider-Man and stuff is that comics and things, there's no heroes in real life. Whatever happens to you, if it's bad, it's because you did it. You had bad karma, things going your way. You set things up for this to happen to you. And on some level, you probably deserve it. So what I learned was, and something my grandpa always told me, which was, if you fight, you could lose. If you don't fight, you can't lose. And that's the thing I've always thought about. You know, that's one of the big things he always told me. Only second to stop eating. That was his big thing he always used to say to me. So when they're all on top of this guy and there's blood going everywhere and they're beating the shit out of him, he's screaming. I think he's unconscious at this point, you know, so he's not even feeling it. So I don't feel that sorry for him, even though it's my friend stuff. When they all are on top of him, this was my chance. And I slowly opened the stall door and I just got the fuck out of there. You know, I could still hear the scream and stuff through the door. But my responsibility was that if I had stayed and tried to help him or whatever, they probably would have beat the shit out of me. And if they beat the shit out of me, I could have died. And if I died, then who's going to tell you guys about Spider-Man and give all these morals and lessons and things, tell the stories that go with them? right? That's my whole point. So that was my responsibility, and I learned that stuff, and that's a big deal. So we're sitting in the theater. I got all my snacks and stuff. Movie's on. It's a big piece of shit. I fucking hate it. I don't know what's happening. There's so many different Spider-Mans and things from the past and going in and out. No one can keep up what's happening. All these fucking nerds are crying and losing their shit over some fucking stupid asshole dressed as a spider. Unbelievable. And right in the middle of it, my mom gets a phone call on her phone, which was weird because that doesn't happen. She's usually smart enough, she's responsible enough to turn the fucking phone off, right? She gets the call, she's talking on the phone, which is already pissing me off because she's kind of ruining my Spider movie. She's talking on the phone, and she starts crying, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? She says, Dad's dead. And I was like, oh, she kept the phone on because he's been in the hospital for the last week. My dad had the Chinese virus thing, okay? He's been in the hospital. And like, let me just tell you quickly, don't give a fuck about him. I've only talked about him maybe once or twice in the 10 years I've been doing this. He dumped us when I was a baby or whatever. He's not a part of my life, whatever. So she gets the call, he's dead. Who cares? I could care less. She's crying. I was like, wheel me out of here. I need my blindfold because I don't want to see the steps and stuff, and I don't want to shit myself. So I put the blindfold back on. She wheels me out to the lobby. I was like, okay, tell me what's going on. She said Dad's dead. China virus killed him, whatever, in the hospital. We got to go up there. And I'm like, fuck me. And I'm like, first of all, I was just like, who gives a shit? I'm not leaving all this food. I'm not leaving my Spider movie. Why would we do that? And then she told me, this is where my heart sank into my fucking chest. I was like, this was the worst thing I've ever heard. When she said, he's dead, we're not going to get his Social Security check anymore. When she said that, I can't remember the last time I was this devastated, honestly, because you don't understand that my dad's Social Security check, that she's been getting a piece of it or something. We get a little bit of money from that. That's what pays for these movies. Okay? This is my life. This is my career. This is my livelihood. My bills, if you add it up, just weekly, going to the movie theater, I spend $300 a week. That's how much I spent last week. On average, about $300 on concessions alone to go to the movies, because I see everything. And, you spend $300 a week without, a real job. This is my job here for you guys. Now it's gone because he's dead. And we're going to have to do other stuff, make ends meet and things. I'm like, yeah, we do. You're gonna have to cancel your People magazine. Some of your streaming channels are gone. The gym membership you don't use, that's out. All these things got to go. Bye-bye. You don't need data on your phone. You're going to get text and talk only, limited minutes, all kinds of stuff. You're going to have to make some sacrifices because I fucking didn't kill your husband. This fucking bullshit Chinese virus thing did. So this is one of the main reasons I hate this Spider-Man fucking movie. Halfway through it, Dad dies. Don't care. Kind of devastated because of the loss of money. So we got to go up to the fucking hospital. I'm blindfolded because I don't want to see the stairs and all that stuff. We get in there. The nurse is breaking it to Mom, and I'm laughing out loud. Because anyone that knows my dad knows he's the biggest piece of shit that's ever lived. So I'm laughing. I can tell that the nurses are uncomfortable with that. I could care less. But this leads to a bigger point, okay? So all ties into Spider-Man, how horrible it is, and how my fucking Christmas is ruined. But let me just say something here, okay? This is a serious thing. No jokes, okay? No jokes. All these people are dying in the hospitals, okay? A lot of people from this Chinese virus thing. There's so many people dying here in Mississippi at our local hospitals that they actually have like these refrigerated train cart things, these big metal boxes off to the side of the hospital that are refrigerated to put dead bodies in. That's how many people are dying. Okay, now I'm not saying these people aren't dying. Obviously they are. A lot of people are dying. I'm saying maybe they just have the flu, or maybe it's the common cold, or whatever. A lot of people die from colds and stuff and things like that. But let's just hypothetical, okay? I don't like to get political on my channel, but this ties into Spider-Man stuff. Just hypothetical. Just throwing it out there. Let's just say this is real, that the China virus thing is real, that it's actually some other kind of virus. It's not the flu. It's not the common cold. It's a different virus made by the Chinese to kill white people, right? Let's just say that's real. All these people in Mississippi that are on their death, that are dying and they're on their deathbeds. My dad was dying for a week. I didn't care. I'm going to Spider-Man before Dad's. All these people are the most racist they can humanly imaginable. I mean, these are some fucking racist people that are dying here in Mississippi. But the thing is, they're not all bad just because they're racist. A lot of these people, believe it or not, were raised this way. It was beat into them. Like, especially in my family, it's beat into you to hate dark-skinned people. Okay, so all these people, they're all dying horrible deaths. Let's say it's from the China virus thing. Okay, let's I'm giving you that. Let's say it's real, right? But they're being told on their deathbeds that they're dying from the China virus. Here's my big point. Can't we just tell them it's not the China virus? Like, sure, if it's real, tell people that in the news and stuff are not dying. People that are healthy, you can tell them the truth. But everyone lies. That's a thing. I mean, like, let's not fucking pretend that the world is not built on lying. I just have this deep sadness, okay, not just only because it's Christmas and not only because it's fucking Spider-Man is horrible, Spider-Man No Coming Home, but the sadness that all of these racists are dying thinking that the Chinese are killing them, that they're being taken out by yellow people. Can't we just tell these racists that they're dying from a common cold or the flu? You know, something white, something nice, something right. That's my idea. I think President Joe Biden and all these political people things need to pass some kind of law or provision thing to make a rule where if a racist is dying from China virus, don't tell them. That's just so... These people, they already think they're going to heaven with the Confederate flag flying and they get to meet General Lee and have biscuits and gravy, all that stuff with their great-grandfathers. None of that's real. All of these people are going to a box in the ground. They're going to be worm food. And my point is, the last few minutes that they have on this earth, why not let them enjoy it a little bit and know that they're dying from something white and clean and pure and not colored, not tainted by the Chinese communist fucking loser nation? And that's my big point, about the thing in Spider-Man and all that stuff. My dad died and all this stuff, we're going to be struggling here at Film Zone, Movie Slob, boy. But I'm going to figure it out, so don't you worry. I don't want anybody to worry about me. No worrying. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families and stuff. Just think about what I'm saying. Maybe we should write letters to Congress or something, or tell our mayors or things, send to senator things. Just tell them email stuff that maybe we should stop telling these racist people that they're getting killed by the Chinese. That's my big point. Spider-Man Homecoming thing, No Way Home, whatever the fuck this movie's called, is fucking horrible. The first two, I didn't think were that bad, okay? But now they had to shit the bed with this one, this clusterfuck nightmare. Anytime you introduce black hole time travel stuff, I'm out. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't care about that stuff. I want to see guy dressed as spider fight thing, not a bunch of shit. And I was just really fucking disappointed. One of the worst movies of the year. Not the worst, but one of the worst. That's it. So what do you guys think? What'd you think of Spider-Man No Coming Home? Did you like it? If you did, tell me in the comments. I don't give a shit what you have to say. I don't know what I have to do to get through to you people. I don't care what you have to say. This channel's about me. It's about what I think. And people have been asking, like, you deleted my comment. Yes, we are deleting comments. If you make a comment that's about the movie and it has nothing to do with me, you don't say anything nice about me or talk about me, I don't give a fuck what you think. That's deleted. Yes, censorship. We censor here. Because I do whatever the fuck I want. This is the Movie Slob channel. I don't care what you think unless you're talking about me. Say something nice. Throw in something. You got to earn my respect. You got to pay your dues. You can't just say some random fact or opinion about a movie and think I'm going to leave it up. No, fuck you. This isn't some movie board. This is Movie Slob. Say something about me. Then it'll stay up. And you'll earn clout with me. And then pretty soon you'll be in my slob army. But if not, if you don't care about any of that stuff, you just want to vent about a movie you hated, go make your own fucking videos. I don't have to listen to your bullshit.